Good afternoon and welcome to the Outback Bowl Announcement Celebration. 25 years ago in a restaurant in Ybor City, Chris Sullivan and I shook hands on an agreement that would change the name of our bowl game to the Outback Bowl. Chris said, let's make this big. Let's make this special. And here we are today, 25 years later, and I think we can all agree that the Outback Bowl has become big and special. So let me point out something real quickly. If you're talking about big and special, let's look at the body of work of the Outback Bowl. This poster to my right, to your left, shows that there was over $1 billion in economic impact for the Tampa Bay area. That's hotels, restaurants, nightclubs, car rental agencies, because of the Outback Bowl's presence. We have paid the universities for education almost $150 million. People say, how do you create an economic impact of over $1 billion? Well, you better bring in a product that'll bring a lot of fans that are going to fill up the hotels, restaurants, nightclubs, and be great for the Tampa Bay area. A couple of years ago, we started our charitable giving initiative. After a few years, that dollar amount is over $1 million to local charities. This would not have happened without people like Greg Scarlett, the president of Outback Steakhouse, and his wonderful team, our board of directors, past and present. I see some of our past chairmen. I see Carter, I see Mitch, Dick Christian, a lot of our guys. These are the guys, our board members, our hundreds of volunteers that have helped position this game as to what it is today. Now we have some special announcements, and I'm proud to turn it over to the chairman of this year's Outback Bowl, Tim Love, and the president of Outback Steakhouse, Greg Scarlett.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon. Welcome. It is truly an amazing day in Tampa Bay. If you look at something that started 31 years ago, we've had the same title sponsor for 26 years, the body of work and the resume over there, this has really become one of the key assets in the Tampa Bay community, not just from a perspective of college football, but also from a perspective in 2019 of donating $1 million to local charities. And to be honest with you, Greg, I can't think of a better place to have this celebration than this beautiful brand new Outback Steakhouse. You all did an amazing job here. It is a celebration, so we've got some big news for you today. But first, what I'd like to do is acknowledge 25 years of partnership with Outback Steakhouse. So when you think about the Tampa Bay treasure that is the bowl, it is a match made in heaven to have a community partner, and I truly mean community partner, like Outback Steakhouse. We have a homegrown Tampa Bay company partnered up with a Tampa Bay Bowl, and it's been a wonderful partnership. So thank you very much. Greg, on behalf of the Outback Bowl and 25 years, the longest running title sponsor ever in college football. Thank you so much. Oh, okay.
I feel a little short.
Well, jump on the count of 3. Once more. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, today is really, truly a celebration. And 25 years is a remarkable number. But the beauty of today is we are here to celebrate the fact that this commemorates a 6-year extension with the bowl for Outback Steakhouse. So, Greg, thank you very, very much, taking us to 31 years in our partnership. Greg, thank you very, very much.
I guess a couple quick thoughts. I could not think of a better way to acknowledge this partnership for the past, the present, and the future than by the extension of this contract for another 6 years. Ironically, both the Bowl and I celebrate 25 years with this great organization this year. So it's a privilege and a pleasure to be a part of this. When this journey began right here in Tampa, we were roughly 225 restaurants. We were an up-and-coming company of restaurants. Today, we're 4 times that, with just shy of 1,000 restaurants, both domestically and internationally. I think separately, to be part of an organization that has an active contributing presence in this community is something that I am personally and professionally proud of, and to be able to contribute to the economic impact that this bowl has had both on Tampa Bay and the surrounding communities is something I'm extremely proud of. So I'd like to propose a toast, if I may. Jim? Here's to the celebration of a 6-year extension, taking us to 31 years of partnership and the longest running title sponsorship in bowl history. Cheers to the Outback Bowl.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's good. Greg, we can't thank you enough for being here. When the president of Outback Steakhouse works into his schedule to be a part of our program, that's special. And we can't thank Greg enough. And over the years, he's been spectacular. So thank you so much. At this point, we have some other special guests that we would like to introduce. When you're talking about sports in the Tampa Bay community, and you're talking about having a strong proponent and a supporter and a cheerleader in sports and the difference it makes to our community, one name comes to mind very quickly. His name's Commissioner Ken Hagan, and Ken is here today with us to celebrate this. Commissioner Hagan, can we ask you to say a few words, please?
Well, thanks, Jim. I really appreciate the kind words. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be here for this very special announcement, and I say that not only as a county commissioner who works closely with Jim and who appreciates the value this bowl has on the community, but I also say that as an enormous sports fan who has experienced the unbelievable hospitality the Outback Bowl folks provide our guests every year. I really can't say enough about this game and this bowl. Simply put, we have a crown jewel here in Tampa Bay with the Outback Bowl. Let's start with how incredibly blessed we are to have Outback Steakhouse as our title sponsor. In an era of 40 bowl games, with some with very strange names and others that frequently change sponsors, we have had Tampa's own Outback Steakhouse as our title sponsor for 25 years, and then now today with the announcement for an additional 6 years they've signed off on. How awesome is that? Let's give it up for Outback Steakhouse. Now, when we are considering bidding on and recruiting major sporting events, we look at 3 things. We look at the economic impact, the social impact, and the exposure generated from hosting a major event. I can tell you, not only does the Outback Bowl check all of those boxes, but they knock it out of the park. Let's start with the economic impact. As Jim alluded to, we have an economic engine here with the Outback Bowl, which has generated over $1 billion in economic impact through the years in Tampa Bay. The big winner of the Outback Bowl is the hospitality industry, as Jim stated, with the hotels, restaurants, attractions, bars, all benefiting not just from game day, but for the week leading up to the actual game itself. Our tourism industry really appreciates and values the Outback Bowl because when the game's played, simply put, it fills the void when there are not many travelers and any major events taking place between Christmas and New Year's Day. The social impact is significant, which unfortunately all too often is forgotten about or simply is not highlighted enough. We're seeing this today with a big announcement we're getting ready to make. But again, over $1 million has been contributed to area charities over the last several years, with the schools being paid close to $150 million that have participated in the game. And lastly, the exposure that the Tampa Bay region receives from the media coverage of the bowl is immeasurable. When the rest of the country is freezing, we have the opportunity to showcase our weather in all of the beauty of Tampa Bay, not only nationally, but internationally. You really cannot place a price tag or put value on what that means to our community. Now, as a sports fan, I can tell you I've attended at least 20 Outback Bowls, and as a Gator alum, as my friend Carter over here, I've been to every major bowl game. And I can honestly say that no one and no bowl does a better job of rolling out the red carpet and welcoming their fans than my buddy Jim McVeigh and the entire team here at the Outback Bowl. Let's give it up for Jim and the Outback Bowl, please. I tell you, their attention to detail is incredible. From the moment the team and fans arrive at TIA to all the events at Busch Gardens, Water Street, Ybor City, the beaches, to the actual game itself, our guests absolutely love being here. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, even before becoming a county commissioner, and from speaking with fans through the years, they love, absolutely love and treasure having the opportunity to be here in what we call paradise. So in closing, I want to thank Greg and Outback Steakhouse for continuing this wonderful partnership. And again, my hat's off to Jim and the entire Outback Bowl team for making our bowl the very best bowl experience in the country. I look forward to seeing everyone January 1.
Ken. Thank you, man. Commissioner Ken Hagan, and we know what an impact he's had on our community, and you know it's an honor to have a community leader like Ken with us here today. Couple of more things we'd like to share. We talked about where we are today in our body of work. The $1 billion, the $149 million in our charitable giving initiative. That's where we are today. Where are we going today forward? Look to my left, to your right. The next 7 years, the Outback Bowl will pay the universities toward education $45 million additional dollars the next 7 years. The Outback Bowl, under the leadership of our board of directors and our volunteers and our wonderful supporters, the Outback Bowl will contribute a minimum of $500,000 a year to charitable organizations. Times 7 years, $3.5 million will be paid to charitable organizations over the next 7 years. You can add the numbers up any way you want. The million we've already contributed, the 3.5 million, the 150 million, the 45 million. It's a lot of money. We are very blessed and fortunate to have the best title sponsor in the sports world with Outback Steakhouse and Greg Scarlett. We're able to do these kind of things because of the kind of organization that we have and our board and our partners. At this time, we would like to ask one of our charities that we've been supportive of, from Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Adam Vassallo, to come forward and to say a few words. We will have a gift for you also, and Stephen is here also. Adam, please.
Thank you. And thank you again for having us for this really exciting day. At Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, we believe potential is inherent in every child. And we believe that potential is not put there. It's every child is born with it. And for us, our mission is to make sure that every child has a caring adult mentor who's just in their life to defend, empower, and ignite that potential. And we're able to do it by matching them in a one-to-one mentoring relationship. Those relationships aren't possible without partners and supporters like the Outback Bowl. And so, I think it's a special partnership to have with the Outback Bowl, because when I think of the Outback Bowl, I think of the march. I think of the students in the marching band. I think of the cheerleaders. I think of the football players on the field, and I think that represents potential realized and really a crown jewel for those student athletes. So our partnership with the Outback Bowl is, I think, made extra special because here in Tampa Bay and Tampa, Florida, it's unique because Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, which is the national office serving our federated network across the country, is based here in Tampa. And also based here is Big Brothers Big Sisters of Tampa Bay, my colleagues Stephen and Deanna with me over here. And they serve communities throughout Central Florida. And so it makes so much sense between the Outback Bowl to be our partner, and we're thankful for it, and for also Blooming Brands to be a longtime corporate supporter of us as well. So we couldn't be more excited to continue this partnership, and we look forward to seeing where the future years take us.
Adam, thank you so much. Adam says it's great to be here. The food is delicious. The drinks and the champagne are great, but how about a couple of checks? It's great to bring out the big check. Where's our big check? We need a picture with our chairman. We need Adam, Stephen, we need you guys in the photograph also. Greg, can we get you in that picture? Let's get you guys up front here. We're going to need you up front.